What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the channel that's still growing strong, and welcome back to the unit with a little bit more going on. Seeing as though a huge portion of people who watch my videos are people wanting to get into the motor trade, I figure let's keep it realistic and share some of the bad parts of the journey which really you need to know and need to be prepared for. I have just made my first loss. Every car I've sold to date has all been at a profit, but I made my first loss. The car in question was the Kia Sportage, the one that I had said I was tempted to put back into the trade because it'd been sitting around for a long time. You're going to get stock, which is basically a mistake. In my case, the Kia was a terrible trim level, and it was the engine which nobody wanted. It was the 1.6 petrol, naturally aspirated, that had no power. On the surface, it was a nice car, but for people who really wanted a good spec, it was no good. And for people who wanted an engine that was good with the hills or good on the motorway, it was terrible. It was clean, it was mechanically sorted, it was very nice as a basic car, but again, the customers want more than that. Now, I'm actually getting the same thing start to happen with the Abarth. We'll come onto that really shortly, but I sold the Kia Sportage, not back into the trade like I originally thought. I reduced the price dramatically and I sold the car at a loss. Now again, this was part of the design, because what you've got to remember is in the motor trade, if I get one car that does really well, that's great, but it doesn't actually mean that I've done well for that month. I could have 5 cars that do really well, that will contribute towards it. If one of those ends up being a loss, but the rest of them end up being a win, it's the final result which makes a huge difference to whether you stay open, whether you stay successful. So if one car ends up going out that's a loss, it doesn't actually mean that you're failing. So in my case, how much did I lose? Well, I lost just shy of £1,100. That was the loss on the Kia Sportage. Effectively, I got back the money that I bought the car for. So all the preparation costs, everything, that was basically at my own expense. Now, a lot of dealers have a timer for cars as soon as they pull them into stock of 90 days. So as soon as a car hits 90 days, then that's the time that they send them back to auction, pull the capital out, or some of them will just keep it and put the cars on clearance. You get the idea. Now, in my case, the Kia was basically approaching that time. So I decided, you know what, let me bring the price right down, and if it still doesn't go, I'll put it back into the trade for even less. So the car sold. Strangely, the guy who bought it was a bit of a dodgy character. I mean, he paid in everything, cash, but he went as far to even ask to check my passport because he thought I was an illegal immigrant or something. I don't know. Ironically, my English was better than his. I'm not going to say where he's from because I'm not going to stir that up, but he wasn't what you'd expect, put it that way. Now, although he thought I stole the car, it very much felt like he stole the car from me when I let it go. It's amazing how it really makes you overthink that one car goes and you make such a loss that's basically in the 4-figure region, and you think, oh God, this is suddenly turning into a failure. This is where I'm here to say, do not worry about it. If you are selling cars and you are making profit out of some of them, then do not worry if the occasional one goes out at a loss. I'll give you a little bit more detail. I had that car for nearly 3 months. In those 3 months, it's sat, it's parked up, it's costing me money to advertise it. On Auto Trader Pay As You Go, it was 50 quid every 2 weeks. That basically means £100 a month to keep that car in stock advertised. For the 3 months I had it, it was £300 to advertise, and of course that contributed towards the £1,100 loss. Amazingly, when I sold the car, unlocked that capital, I took that capital and put it into better stock. And guess what? In 9 days, I made that money back. Had I kept it in that car, had I kept pushing, it would have been worse. Now, I've got the same story going on with this Abarth. What's really annoying is that this Abarth is a gorgeous, gorgeous car. It has not got a problem with the spec. I think it's actually a really nice example. Mechanically, it's all sorted. It drives really well. I drive it home sometimes because it makes me smile. And I did have a customer who was happy to take it. We agreed, they got accepted for the finance, but the interest payments were simply just too high for her. Now, the retail on this car is £7,250. As you can see behind me, it's now on clearance, £1,000 less. Now, if it sells for £6,250, that is still at a loss for me. But I'm at that point now where I've had this car for, I think, coming up to 80 days now. So now it's at the point where I've put it on clearance. If it goes back into the trade, I'll make an even bigger loss. But regardless, it needs to go. So right now, the car's up with a 2-week advert for this price, £6,250. If it goes for this, fine. I'll take the loss and I'll do the same thing. I'll go and get better stock that will shift, and I'm sure I'll make that money back way quicker than how long this thing's been sat here for. And don't forget, it's December. People are saving for Christmas presents, and it's not really a busy time for people to be buying cars. So you have to take everything into consideration. If it goes for £6,250, I'll accept it, and I'll actually be happy with that. The loss will be in the hundreds, but it's still a loss. But as easy as it is for me to think and feel, this is terrible, things are going wrong, feel reassured, no, that is not the situation. This one detail contributes to lots of other details that form a totally separate result. So that is currently ongoing with the Abarth. So again, realistic journey. Now, when it comes to the Fiesta, it's only been listed for a couple of days, and it is a cheap car for everything you get. I've had genuine interest, but so far, all 3 people have been tire kickers. It's only been a few days, but the fact the phone has been ringing means that there is genuine interest in that. So that should be all good. As for the Audi, similar story. I've had a few people genuinely interested. One person wanted it as their first car. Unfortunately, they just simply couldn't get insured on it, which is surprising to be fair. I think they live in quite a high risk area. What's even more annoying is I had a lead from Auto Trader, spoke to them on WhatsApp. They seem very, very genuine. And because they finish work at 6 p.m, they asked if they can pick the car up after hours. And I said, of course. I'm always happy to adapt to make things less stressful. So they asked if they could meet at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. comes, the guy's not arrived. 7:30, the guy's not arrived. 8 p.m, the guy's not arrived. Chances are they're not coming. I tried messaging, message didn't deliver. I tried calling, it rang, no answer, then went to voicemail. This is the reality of the motor trade, unfortunately, is you're gonna get this. Yes, it's hugely disrespectful. They couldn't even just pick up the phone or message to say, I'm not coming, I'm suddenly not interested, or an emergency's crept up, or can we reschedule? No, just pure silence. Now, the Insignia with the timing chain issue that you would have saw is currently on the ramp, now getting prepared. To make the realism of the motor trade journey even funnier, I went to go and check on the Insignia, and it turns out someone has cable tied the boost pipe on, and I'm guessing the reason is because a new one works out to over £200 just for the part alone. There was another Insignia in the shop for the same job, funnily enough. That's how we knew how much it cost for the parts. Either way, the car has to go out right for the customer, so it is being replaced. It's all a part of it. The customers trusted me, so I've got to do my best. So the video for that car will be coming just before I go out to deliver it. I have asked the customer's permission if he's happy for me to still do a video on the car prior to coming down, and he's very happy for me to do so. So thank you. I do appreciate that a lot of people who are beginning this journey of trading are seeing what I'm doing. Even Warranty First has got in touch with me and said that a ton of people have called them up, opened accounts. Warranty First is a great place to start because they are free. There's no commitments. You can call them up and just say, can I open an account for my new motor trade? Of course, just mention me, the guy off YouTube, Flagship Cars, and they will make sure you are looked after. But the whole reason why I'm doing this journey on YouTube is simply to prove that anyone can jump into the motor trade. If cars ignite a fire inside of you and you love it, there is no reason why you can't jump in this game too. Do not be intimidated by garages who have done well. You too can be a success. Even if you've only got a few cars in stock, you will build. You remember my first video? I only started with 1 car in stock. Then it went to 2, then it went to 3. As of a couple of days ago, I now have 4. I got these 3, plus I got the Insignia, and it will keep building. Sure, I had my first car that sold at a loss. This one is very likely to also sell at a loss, so that'll be 2. But does that mean I failed? First unit in 6 months, my stress has dramatically reduced since my previous job. Way more time with the kids and the wife, as much as she does my head in, but still. No, what you're getting here is freedom. Freedom away from the stress and constraints of your previous job. For all those people sending me messages on WhatsApp saying this is exactly what you want to do, the reason I'm creating this series of videos is so in each one of the videos, there's little bits of knowledge that hopefully are gonna help you all. Obviously, this is all a piece of my journey. If you have a story, put it in the comments because I'm sure this community would actually love to pump each other up. As you can see, I've still got a lot of work to do in this unit. It's pretty plain, isn't it? I've managed to get some sort of organization going. Oh my God, I've got enough of a tan. Sorry, that was a bit racist. As always, thank you so much for joining me on this journey. I really hope you're getting value from it. Subscribe to this journey, look at the other videos in this Flagship Cars playlist because I'm sure there's gonna be loads that you'll be able to take away from it. I'm sure you'll have friends and family who would absolutely love to see proof that what you're about to do is definitely worth doing. That is the whole point of this journey. If any of these cars are any good to you, fire me a message and we'll see what we can do. As you can see, this YouTube stuff is starting to become serious, so that means you're gonna get a lot of regular content, so it's definitely worth subscribing. I'll see you soon.